Thanks so much, and good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Gordon, proud to be the Sacramento County Superintendent of Schools, and it's truly my honor to welcome you to the 2026 Sacramento County Teachers of the Year Awards Banquet. And tonight we celebrate the very best in education. Teachers whose passion, creativity, and dedication inspire not only their students, but every one of us. You're about to meet some of the most remarkable educators in our county, people whose stories will move you, whose achievements will amaze you, and whose commitment to their craft makes our community stronger. Let's bring some of our Sacramento County finest educators into the spotlight. So to start us off, please join me in welcoming last year's 2025 Sacramento County Teachers of the Year, Joshua Weeks, who represented the Roble Unified School District, and Mark Van Kieran, who represented the Twin Rivers Unified School District. Please come forward.
All right, good evening, everyone. This event, second year coming here, it just fills me with joy. I love being in the presence of all of you because it really revitalizes my spirit as a teacher as well, because we are all so like-minded. It's nights like this that remind us why we teach, why we go into this profession, and nights like this that show it's a calling. It's nights like this that we celebrate the long hours you guys spend grading papers, even on the couch, at the end of the classroom, in bed, nonstop. It's nights like this that honor your persistence as teachers who never give up on their students, even when sometimes a student will give up on themselves. It's nights like this that you shine a light on the care teachers pour into every classroom. You create a safe place for our children, and we appreciate you. You make sure they are heard. You make sure they are valued. It's nights like this that we recognize the accomplishment that sometimes, even though it's not spread throughout, that the breakthrough for the confidence that you bring, the joy of discovery that you teach in your classrooms, that spark of curiosity, it enlightens those young minds. It's nights like this that prove that education is not about test scores alone, but the character and courage and the creativity that you teachers inspire for our students every day. It's nights like this that remind teachers they're not alone. We are all part of a community of professionals who share a deep commitment at shaping our students' future. And it's nights like this that we get to celebrate all of you, our Teachers of the Year, not just for what you have done, but who you are. You are all leaders, you are all mentors, and you are all champions for every child who has walked through your classroom door, and I am honored to share this experience with all of you. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, hey, good evening, 2026 Sacramento County Teacher of the Year nominees. You all have certainly been nominated in a most interesting year to be an educator this year, 2025. Wow. Teachers seem to be the punching bags of our current political, economic, scientific, and social disputes. Yet, you here know that you are the scales of your students' outcomes and the vital heartbeat of their community's culture. You're among the first tipping points in your students' lives, a trusted adult who helps them decipher the truth. You're here tonight because your communities and your school districts have found you exemplary. Often, the best educators are the most humble. You're here because you've earned it. Be proud of this achievement. Your presence is central in the local community and beyond. I remember vividly in second grade when my teacher, Miss McKinley, took our class to the Navajo Nation Veterans Memorial Park to have a simple picnic in its first year of opening. I can only imagine that it was lively for anyone that was in attendance to see kids learning history, playing together, and having lunch in such a sacred place. Our mission is twofold: to serve our students and to reshape the narrative around education. We are not only mentors and guides for young minds, but we're also agents of positive change in our communities. Each of you has shown the profound impact a dedicated educator can have, not just on individual students, but on the community as a whole. Let this recognition fuel your passion tonight. Continue to be the inspiration, the advocate, and the leader your community needs. Congratulations to each of you on this well-deserved honor. Thank you.
And now, to move the program forward, it's my pleasure to introduce tonight's Master of Ceremonies, Fox 40 Morning News anchor Richard Sharp.
Thank you, Superintendent Gordon, and thanks everyone for being here tonight. It is a pleasure to be with you all. There's so much talent in this room, and it's an honor to serve as the MC for this year's Teachers of the Year banquet, to acknowledge the 13 amazing teachers that serve throughout our wonderful county. Being a Teacher of the Year, you may already know how much of an impact you have on your students, but I'd like to offer you another perspective, if I could. My son is 13, just started 8th grade, like the superintendent said, at Folsom in Sutter Middle School. Last year, I was driving him to one of his many after-school activities. I feel like Daddy Uber some days. We like to listen to NPR. No surprise, I'm a news guy here. They know how to pronounce names that I don't, okay? I turned on the radio right when they were in the middle of a story about some new science discovery, and they were talking about some very complex stuff, math. As we listened, I was scrambling to try and make sense of it all, and just as I thought I was getting it, my son blurts out, "Oh, they're talking about quantum physics." I wanted to do the old dad, like, I'm not so sure. And right as I was about to say that, the announcer goes, "It's all about quantum physics." And I turn to him and I go, how did you know this? And he says, "Oh, we talk about it in class. It's really cool, Dad. Did you know?" Blah, 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 blah. It's all over my head at this point. It's not, now I know for a fact he did not get that from me. I talk for a living. I don't even know how to spell quantum physics, both words. My wife is smarter than me, and I'm pretty sure he didn't get it from her. It's not like my son is a genius. He was just inspired to learn more by a teacher, the right teacher. And this has played itself over and over again. Last year, I had the pleasure of introducing the winners, Joshua and Mark. And I got invited to Mr. Joshua Weeks' class in elementary school. It's a class where they teach kids how to do broadcast journalism, about broadcasting online. And I got to tell you, the class, these kids in elementary school were smarter than I was in high school. They are smart. It was fun. We had a great interview. I invited them to the station a couple months later. And again, I was super impressed with them. Everyone at the station was impressed with them. But for me, the real treat was watching how they responded to Mr. Weeks, both at the school and at the station. What I was watching was, for me, fascinating. It took me a while to figure it out. But he had created an environment where they could be themselves. They felt comfortable. They could explore. They could try new things, overcome fears, ask questions. Fears like talking on camera, because I got to tell you, when they got to the station, they were all worried about getting in front of the camera, but I put them in front of the camera anyway and made them read a teleprompter. If you've never read a teleprompter, it's a little tricky. It's in all caps, and you don't know where the sentence ends and where it starts. They responded so well. My co-anchor turns to me and, "Watch out, they're going to take your job." Hopefully I'll be retired by then. But it was a treat to watch. Now, from the inside out, you might not see the impact you guys have on students and the trajectory of their life. And I would venture a guess that your students probably don't go home and explain the finer points of the incredible learning environment you have all created at school. But understand this, it is noticed, it is appreciated, and tonight we celebrate you being the spark, the inspiration, and the encouragement for our students. Okay, first up, representing the Center Joint Unified School District as the 2026 Teacher of the Year is Dawn Dotson. Dawn says The instructional decisions I make are deliberate and rooted in the belief that student learning thrives in environments that affirm identity and encourage voice. Dawn is a third grade teacher at Arthur S. Dudley Elementary School. She'll be introduced this evening by Sophia Gasca. Sophia?
Let's make this short and sweet because there's a lot of us. Good afternoon, my name is Sophia Gasca. I am currently a freshman. I had Mrs. Dotson for third grade, and my brother had her for the same grade, and we both love her. I remember having Mrs. Dotson while the pandemic started. And honestly, any teacher who can teach over Zoom call and without making assignments difficult is an amazing teacher. Or maybe it wasn't difficult because my mother helped me. But I do remember the positive energy she had when she teaches. And I love it because it just really brightens your day when you start off a lesson with such good energy. But Mrs. Dotson isn't just a teacher to me, but a friend. We have been writing letters to each other, and I love to hear about the places she's been to or her travels. I didn't think that asking my third grade teacher for her address so I can send letters over the summer would turn into 6 years of exchanging letters. I especially love receiving postcards from her and seeing the places she's visited. I keep the letters in a box, and I believe about half of them are just postcards. Mrs. Dotson is really kind and always tries to have fun with her lessons. It is an honor to be here to introduce Mrs. Dotson.
Good evening. I just want to start by thanking this incredible young woman who introduced me, Sophia. Having been your teacher was a gift. Being your friend is an honor. And watching you grow into who you are today reminds me exactly why I do what I do. Thank you for your kind words. It's truly an honor to be here tonight among so many outstanding educators, teachers who have inspired, encouraged, and probably lost their voices more times than we can count. I am incredibly grateful for this recognition, but it certainly doesn't belong to me alone. More than anything, teaching is about connection, and I have been so blessed in my life with relationships that taught me the importance and value of connection. For my amazing parents and my husband, thank you for being my biggest cheerleaders on the good days and bad, for sponsoring field trips and book fair gifts for my kids, for listening and nodding through stories about what that one kid did, and for pretending to be interested when I explained my latest strategy again. It belongs to mentors who gently guided me, administrators who trusted me, and my amazing colleagues who support me, oftentimes with a healthy dose of chocolate and a listening ear. To my principals, district leaders, and board members, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for empowering me and for creating a space at Center where innovation and passion are not just encouraged, but celebrated. It belongs to every student who challenged me to grow and every parent who trusted me with their child's learning journey. Because teaching is not just a job. It truly is a calling. It's waking up each day knowing that you have the power to change lives, even if that day starts with a copier jam. It's about seeing that moment when a student finally gets it, that spark in their eyes that reminds you why you keep showing up, even on the hard days. It takes a special kind of person to be a teacher. We're planners, we're nurturers, comedians, multitaskers, and sometimes on the really good days, magicians. And somehow through all the chaos and caffeine, this job fills me up. It truly is my passion, and there's nothing else I'd rather be doing, no place I'd rather be than in a room full of learners, helping them discover who they are and what they're capable of. This recognition is humbling, but the real reward has always been the kids, their curiosity, their growth, and their joy. That's why we do what we do. Thank you for this honor, and thank you for believing in teachers.
The Elk Grove Unified School District has two 2026 Teachers of the Year. Their first Teacher of the Year is Bethany Hancock. Come on down. Bethany says, I find my work endlessly fulfilling, and although I love the ease of teaching a group of students who are self-motivated learners, I find the challenge of getting those defiant and resistant learners to join is even more rewarding. Bethany is a third grade teacher at Elk Grove Elementary School. Bethany will be introduced by Tessa Slothauer.
Hello, my name is Tessa Slothauer, and I was chosen to be here today to recognize my teacher, Mrs. Hancock. It all started one morning when Miss Hancock came to school with a big smile as usual and had announced that she was nominated and won Teacher of the Year. She had always been caring, loving, and helpful. Miss Hancock always came to school with a big smile, even on bad days, and has inspired others to work hard. Her favorite thing to do is read and be kind. She even wears kindness shirts every day. Looking back at last year, I have so many great memories. One memory I love is when Miss Hancock gave us an assignment of something special I had in my life. I was so happy to share going to San Jose with my mom to see Olympic gymnasts. I even met Simone Biles. Miss Hancock was so excited to hear what fun time I had and had made me feel even more happy about experiences. She always takes time to ask more questions about us, and she makes me feel so comfortable. Another great memory is going to the Rhodes Schoolhouse. We dressed up like pioneers, and she taught us how to bow before we speak. Miss Hancock always teaches us how to be respectful. All year long, we read kindness poems, talked about them, and then did comprehension on them. These are just a couple special memories I have from the year. I hope you can see what a special person Miss Hancock is and why my teacher, Miss Hancock, was nominated and won Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Miss Hancock. I'm really going to miss seeing you all day this school year.
Wow. I didn't know I'd have to be second either. This is not in my notes, but I just have to say, looking at this program, there's a lot of third grade teachers here. Did you notice this? Third grade is a really special year. It's my favorite class, or my favorite grade to teach. I think there's just something very magical about that. Thank you. Thank you to Tessa. Thank you to her mom. Thank you, Principal Jones, Superintendent Hoffman, Miss Avery. I just want to say thank you to my wonderful family who's sitting here tonight for me, and the wonderful Elk Grove Unified School District where I've been so privileged to teach. What an honor to be recognized as the very best of our profession. Like many of you, I was absolutely surprised, and I will be forever grateful for this opportunity to represent the best in teaching practices. How many other professions work tirelessly all year long to cultivate meaningful relationships with clients and their families, only to say goodbye to those very same clients and start completely over with complete strangers every year? We are a unique profession. When I received the Teacher of the Year nomination and prepared to write about my career, I was humbled and honored as I looked over years of letters of recommendation, observation notes, notes from parents, and countless student notes, like this one I brought today. Woo, I'm gonna fall. Students that are here tonight, your notes to us motivate us, inspire us, and keep us going, so thank you. From this reading and reflection of my career, I was able to better understand the amazing impact we have as teachers. Right now, there are students and adults spread far and wide who attribute some of their success to us. Isn't that phenomenal? Do not underestimate the power we have in our classrooms. I want the public to see us for what we are: talented, incredible, giving humans who think about our students beyond the classroom and far more than our contract hours to make sure that students have a chance to succeed socially, behaviorally, academically, mentally, athletically, and more. We are not just teachers. One of my third grade students wrote, "Mrs. Hancock is the best teacher ever because she thinks we are the best class ever." It's a little more complicated than that, but I believe that giving students high expectations and treating them as kids who will meet those expectations is the key. Tessa, your class was the best class. Our goal as teachers is to get kids to love to read, love to write, and love to solve problems. And I make every day in our class a lesson, both academic and part of social, emotional learning, so that kids always feel that they have a voice, they have a culture of kindness, we have a culture of teamwork, they feel heard, and they feel that they can take risks to achieve. And I want every child to feel that way so that when they leave my class, they have a lifelong skill of persevering and being able to believe in themselves. Congratulations to all the teachers of the year here tonight for being that teacher who will always be remembered. We have made a huge impact in this Sacramento County. Let's spread that joy and validation we received with this honor and make our campuses more positive and joyful places by encouraging others. Thank you.
The second teacher of the year, representing Elk Grove Unified School District, is Stephen Ramsey. He says, I use questions to prompt my students to use academic language and scientific reasoning to build their responses. From day one, we set out to answer questions, build up scientific skills, and collaborate together. Stephen teaches biology and physics at Laguna Creek High School and will be introduced by Madeline Brewer. Madeline?
Good evening. My name is Maddie Brewer, and I graduated from Laguna Creek High School in 2024. Mr. Ramsey was my Science Olympiad supervisor for all 4 years of high school, and he was also my biology teacher for 2 years through Laguna Creek's International Baccalaureate program. It was natural for him to become my favorite teacher and for his classroom to become my safe space. Now, after a year of biology at UC Davis, I can say with certainty that his class, from the hands-on activities to the passionate lectures, have prepared me to be confident and successful in my college coursework. But what he taught me academically does not even begin to compare to what he instilled in me personally, through his compassion, patience, and perceptiveness. After all, more often than not, a favorite teacher is defined by how much they care, not how much they know. What struck me most about Mr. Ramsey compared to any other teacher is how he listened to me. It's not that my other teachers didn't listen, but rather, Mr. Ramsey approached conversations with students in a different way. When I expressed my fears, concerns, or insecurities, he validated them, rather than immediately and instinctively trying to counter them with positivity. Mr. Ramsey gave me the space to experience my emotions, all the while doing what he could to alleviate my anxieties. Whether it was offering solutions, letting me vent, or distracting me with a game of cards, whenever I needed him, he was there. At 7 a.m., when I was still worked up about a softball game from the night before, he was there. At 11 a.m., when I had taken my last final for his class and I was frustrated with how I felt about my performance, he was there. At 3 p.m., when I was panicking about my first Science Olympiad meeting as president, he was there. Even though I am no longer a student, Mr. Ramsey equipped me with the skills throughout high school that have allowed me to navigate all of the emotional situations and setbacks of college as well. I am so grateful for Mr. Ramsey. I have tried so many times to emphasize to him how much his support has meant to me, but it never feels like enough. I have probably written him enough thank you notes at this point to rival the word count of a textbook. At the end of my senior year, I asked Mr. Ramsey to give a speech on my behalf at an Outstanding Scholars Banquet. Following that night, I wanted so badly to have an opportunity to reciprocate. Tonight, I finally have. It is my pleasure to introduce a truly extraordinary teacher, mentor, and person, Stephen Ramsey.
Thank you so much, Maddie. I really appreciate it. It's a huge honor to teach students like Maddie. They bring enthusiasm to class every day, and they make teaching a really fun and enjoyable job. She got like almost 100% on that final, so she definitely did not need to be worried about it. I didn't always want to be a teacher. Midway through my senior year of college in November, I said, I'm graduating in 8 months. I really should figure out what I want to do with my life. And so I thought about some of the people who'd inspired me growing up, and those were two of my science teachers, Brick and Ibeck. They brought passion and enthusiasm to school every single day in both my bio and my physics classes. And so I really enjoyed those, and I said, maybe I should be a teacher. And so I went to the Career Center, and I said, hey, how do you become a teacher? And they're like, well, here's what you do. And so I went to do my first observation in Davis, and I walked in, and by the end of the class, I knew that's what I wanted to do with my life. I was like, this is what I want to do. Mr. McKim was an amazing mentor, and so I stayed and volunteered for 60 hours in his room, and that was my first start with teaching. From there, I've been in Elk Grove for 11 years now as a teacher. I've had the pleasure of working with amazing coworkers, support of 2 different amazing principals, Doug Craig and Mark Benson, and then wonderful Chris Hoffman. I emailed him one time after one of our Tuesday trainings that we do for the district to thank him, because I really appreciate every Tuesday at the start of our district, we hear a message from him, and his are always filled with really positive, powerful messages, and so I've always appreciated his leadership. In the classroom, I love working with high schoolers, a little different than the 3rd grade teachers. They're super fun. They have a lot of, they're basically adults. You get a glimpse of what they're gonna be in the future. And it's really cool to see them progress over the course. I luckily teach a 2-year course. I teach them as juniors and seniors. And so you watch them go from being high schoolers to about to leave from college. And it's a truly incredible opportunity. I'm lucky that some of them, like Maddie, keep in touch, and I get to see them and see how they're doing at Davis, and it's really cool. In the classroom every day is a challenge. The students, especially high schoolers, demand the utmost respect from you. They are there to challenge you. They think they know as much as you do, if not more, and so they're there for it. And so I really love the creativity it takes to design experiences to keep them engaged. They need a lot of inquiry, a lot of hands-on activities, and science is a great avenue to be able to do that. I want to thank my mentors from student teaching, Rick, Megan, and Mr. Belamini. They taught me a ton and really laid the foundation for where I'm at today. I want to thank my coworkers at Laguna who've helped me design lessons over the years and helped me get where I am today. Thank you to Jordan Roberts, my former student teacher and coworker, for being a great first student teacher, and I really enjoyed discussing teaching philosophy with him. I also want to thank my parents for their unconditional support. I couldn't be here without them. And lastly, I want to thank my students. They helped me grow into the teacher that I am today, and they're the reason that this job is so rewarding. So thank you so much.
All right, representing the Folsom Cordova Unified School District for the 2026 Teacher of the Year, Julie Nittler. She says, I hold my students to high standards, encourage them to take risks, ask questions, tackle challenges head on, and express their idea. Julie's a 3rd grade teacher at Peter J. Shields Elementary School. She'll be introduced this evening by Jackson Longstreth. Jackson, hold on one second.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jackson Longstreth from Peter J. Shields in the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. Last year, I was in 3rd grade and had Mrs. Nittler. Not only did I have Mrs. Nittler as a teacher, but my dad and my aunt also had her. They enjoyed her class back then as much as I did. I am here today to tell you why Mrs. Nittler should be Teacher of the Year. Something I really loved about being in Mrs. Nittler's class was that she made sure every one of her students had a comfortable learning environment. Every morning, when my friends and I walked into the class, we were given the choice of where we wanted to sit. The seating arrangements weren't just a regular desk and chair, but also a pillow cushion for the floor. We can sit at a kitchen table, or we can choose to sit at a high-top table. She wanted to make sure we were comfortable when she taught us. Also, she was able to teach in a way so that I could understand the material with ease. After teaching us about science or math, we would have projects to complete, and I was able to complete them since I understood the material. Mrs. Nittler was such an amazing teacher, as she taught me so well that I scored well above our school's average and the state's average on the state test, which we completed last year. Not only is she a great teacher, but also a great person. Mrs. Nittler didn't just teach us about math, science, and reading, but she taught us to be our best selves. She brought out the best in us through her generous sharing of knowledge and genuine care. She not only meets the needs of her students, but inspires each of us to excel. I hope you all choose my teacher, Mrs. Nittler, to be Teacher of the Year. Thank you.
Can I just say 3rd grade rocks? Come on. Jackson is a wonderful young man, and yes, I did teach his father, his uncle, and his sister. So I've been teaching a long time, and I still love it. Just some quick shout outs. I love data, and I can make a spreadsheet out of anything, and I'd like to thank my husband for that because he's a numbers guy and he helps me with my formulas. Shout out for my principal. I came to him one day and I said, hey, I want to take all the legs off the desks. And he's like, okay. And he came the next day with his drill and lowered all my desks for me to the ground. And I want to shout out for our district superintendent, thank you, Dr. Swanson, and for Angie and Dr. Huber over there. So thank you for that. I have a poem. Good evening, friends. I'm grateful to say a little bit about myself as we start this new day. I've taught for some years, and through each twist and bend, my heart stays committed to every young friend. I truly believe in a mindset that grows. Each student can flourish, and confidence shows. I've shifted my focus from balanced to bright. Structured literacy now guides our flight. Data helps me listen to what students need, so I can adjust and help them succeed. But what means the most beyond tests and charts is the teamwork we build, the joining of hearts. With colleagues beside me, sharing insight and care, we lift every learner. Together, we're there. Thank you for trusting me as we join this quest to nurture, to challenge, to bring out their best. Together, let's hold hope in our hands and believe in the endless potential of every child we teach. Thank you.
Representing Galt Joint Unified High School as the 2026 Teacher of the Year is Megan Enot. She says, I believe the greatest reward we can reap as educators occur when students feel comfortable enough to take risks, ask questions, and allow themselves to enjoy the learning process, not just move through the motions. Megan teaches social science at Galt High School. She'll be introduced this evening by Roxanne Garcia. Roxanne?
I just want to give a clear clarification. I've had Ms. Piper as my leadership teacher. I'm so bummed out that I wasn't able to have her for social science, but I'm so grateful to have you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Roxana Garcia. I am a senior at Galt High. I am truly grateful to be able to speak and share what I love about Mrs. Enot. I am one lucky student to have had Mrs. Enot as my teacher these last 3 years and a true mentors as I undertake my senior year. Mrs. Enot is truly cares about her students and tries to build a connection with every one of us until she builds a bond. Mrs. Enot was the first teacher at Galt High who made me feel welcomed at school. I hear students with whom I have no relationship talk so kindly about Mrs. Enot and say how she makes learning fun. Mrs. Enot also keeps supporting me and pushing me towards my goals. I am so grateful to have found a teacher like her before I take on the next chapter in my life. She will be my inspiration and the person I will strive to be when I also become a teacher. She was a key factor in my success in high school, and I'm so happy that Mrs. Enot was recognized for this amazing award, and others besides myself can celebrate her hard work and passion she puts each and every day into her job. Mrs. Enot, I am truly grateful and appreciate you so much. Congratulations, Mrs. Enot.
Thank you, sweet Roxy. I've had the blessing of getting to be Roxy's teacher for her 4 years of leadership, as she just said, but sweet girl, I just want you to know that I'm always going to be proud of you, and I'm so proud of the young woman that you're becoming, so thank you for being here for me tonight. Folks, I'm really honored to represent the Galt High School District tonight. As you've heard it said, we all know in this room that teaching is not a job, it's a lifestyle. But truly, with confidence, I can say that it's one that I love from the bottom of my heart. And while I'm grateful to be named the Teacher of the Year, I honestly cannot say that I'm here based on my own merit alone. I genuinely believe that I am the product of one of the most supportive, most growth-inspiring, and incredible places to be able to work. Galt has turned me into the teacher that I've always wanted to be, and I didn't know that I always wanted to be a teacher. I thought I wanted to be an athletic trainer. So to everyone who is representing Galt tonight, thank you all so much for helping me create that piece of myself that I needed. To my friends, thank you for everything. You know the depth of what you mean to me, but truly know that I accept this award tonight on behalf of all of your love and faith as well. To my superintendent, Anna Trunell, thank you for joining our team last year. You make me proud to be a warrior and a teacher in Galt. To the members of the board, Ms. Newberger, I thank you for the faith and trust that you all put in me. I couldn't be the teacher that I am without all of your support, and so I thank you. To my principal and my friend, Kelly Beck, I struggle genuinely to find the words to truly describe how it feels to be your colleague and friend. You have been not only one of my greatest support systems I've ever had in life, but to me, you are the pinnacle of professionalism, the epitome of what it means to lead with the heart of a warrior, and truly one of the greatest friends a girl could have. Working with you will always be one of my greatest career highlights. And lastly, to my husband, thank you for all of your hours of patience and love, because this is not a job of one. Thank you for your skills of carpentry and time spent Googling how to build student store counters and homecoming floats. And thank you for adopting all the warriors who get to know you as Mr. Nick or Steven, for chaperoning international field trips with me, and most of all, for your love. You know I'm nothing without you. So thank you all tonight, and again, it's an honor.
All right, representing the Language Academy of Sacramento, an independent charter school authorized by the Sacramento City Unified School District as 2026 Teacher of the Year, is Graciela Castañeda. Every year has a different learning style, and my job is to ensure that I am providing all students with the necessary tools to reach their full potential. Graciela teaches multiple subjects to middle school students in the Language Academy of Sacramento and will be introduced by Chinito Castañeda. Chinito, do you want the...
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Chanito Castañeda, and I'm currently a 6th grade student at Language Academy in Sacramento. I have the honor of presenting Maestra Castañeda, who is a great teacher, and I believe she deserves this award. As our student council advisor, she helped us organize events like rallies, dances, haunted houses, and school-wide yard sales. She always made sure to order pizza for us to ensure we weren't hungry during the events. I'm lucky to have her as my teacher not only at school, but also at home. She pushes me to do my best and helps me when I don't understand my homework. Maestra Castañeda does the same for all her students. She's always available to help and answer questions. She's caring and cheerful. It's cool to hear other students say your mom is a really good teacher. For example, when she taught summer school, my friend said that she thought she was funny and fun, especially when she dressed up like a dinosaur. At first I thought, oh my goodness, that's embarrassing. But she was actually making learning fun. Today I feel honored to present to my mom, Maestra Castañeda.
Thank you, Chanito. I was lucky to be his student council advisor, and now I have the privilege of inviting him to be part of the middle school world. I promise I will try my best to not embarrass you anymore. There was context behind the dinosaur. We were doing evolution, and you have to intrigue middle schoolers into want to learn. So I walked in as a dinosaur. But good evening. I am honored here today, and I am truly blessed to represent the Language Academy of Sacramento. But I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't be the teacher that I am without the incredible support system that I have. To my husband, Chano, to my 4 children, Chanito, Santiago, Araceli, and Vicente, thank you for your unconditional love and support, especially when you see on the home calendar that grades are due by midnight, and it's not the best time to ask mom questions. You are my rock and my inspiration. To my parents, José Asunción y Marielia Reynoso, gracias por su apoyo, su amor infinito, y por todos sus sacrificios. To my sisters, brothers, my in-laws, thank you for listening to all of my stories and for taking care of my babies while I take care of others. The Language Academy is truly an incredible place to work at. And I also have a Language Academy family. My cousin helped me find this family. She supported me through college and helped me arrive and find the Language Academy of Sacramento. I wouldn't be the teacher that I am with my amazing middle school team. We are 9 teachers who collaborate, spend countless hours helping each other, sharing resources, translating information, and then just listening to each other. Thank you to my amazing administration and literacy coach, Ms. TJ, Mr. Eduardo de Leon, Ms. Judy, Ms. Hema, thank you for all of your leadership and guidance, and for supporting all of us teachers through all the questions and support that is needed in the year. I truly believe that the success of the students at the Language Academy of Sacramento is a team effort. It takes teachers, parents, and all staff to make sure that our students succeed. I love being a bilingual teacher because witnessing students learn and grow in 2 languages is very rewarding. In the classroom, I strive to create a safe, inclusive learning environment where all of my students feel heard, respected, and accepted. I teach not only to support my students academically, but also to help them become strong leaders. With everything going on in the world today, I believe our students can create a better tomorrow. As a teacher and student council advisor, it is my duty to help my students find their voice and to empower them to advocate for change. Teaching is challenging, yes, but incredibly rewarding. Thank you all for this opportunity today, and congratulations to all the teacher candidates.
All right, representing Natomas Unified School District at 2026 Teacher of the Year is Travis Murray. Travis says, I want the students to leave my class with automotive skills, yes, but also with the confidence, curiosity, and resilience to tackle whatever comes next. Travis is an automotive teacher for career technical education at Natomas High School. Travis will be introduced by Shivam Patel. Shivam?
Hello everyone, my name is Shivam Patel. I am a proud graduate of Natomas High School class of 2025. I am truly honored to be here today, chosen by my former automotive teacher, Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray taught us not only the simple and complex things about cars, but also gave us the opportunity to jump on projects and learn hands-on and grow through experience. But one of the most important things Mr. Murray taught us wasn't just about cars, but it was about life. Every Friday, he wanted to talk for an hour about managing income and investing your money. It may not be as fun as working under the hood, but it's a valuable skill we can take with us into adulthood. When I think back on his class, I realized Mr. Murray wasn't just preparing us to be better mechanics. He was preparing us to be better people, responsible, hardworking, and ready for the real world. For that, I am truly grateful. Thank you, Mr. Murray, for everything you've done for me and for so many other students.
Thank you, Shivam. I shouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the unwavering support of these people right here, right? Of my superintendent and everyone at the district office and my principal for believing that career technical education is important, that shop should be back in school, right? Because for a long time it wasn't. And with their unwavering support, I'm getting to teach kids. And I shouldn't be. I'm in a room full of people who are amazing. People who have dedicated their lives to making the world a better place. And I was a charlatan. I was that person who said, no. See, those who do, those who can't do, teach, right? And then it took a very important person in my life, somebody that I respect, to say, you know, you're wrong, right? Well, what do you mean I'm wrong? My sister tells me, she's like, every successful person in the world is there because somebody taught them how to do it. Every success in the world is because of people like you who've decided that they need to make the world a better place, that they need to pass on the knowledge that we have and that we've gained. And I am humbled and honored to be able to call myself one of you. I may have started off this journey as a doubter, right? As a person who said, no, I'm not a teacher. I do stuff, right? But I didn't realize how difficult it is. I didn't realize how amazing all of you educators really are until I got into that fire. And I spent countless hours pulling out what little hair I had left, going, how do I reach them? How do I get them to want to do this? How do I get them to care? And we do that. We do that every single day. And we are the punching bags of everyone. Because if they don't get it right, it's because we didn't do our job right. Because we want every single person that comes through our door to succeed. And we strive every day to do that. And every person that's in this room, every person that has anything to do with education, I want to thank you. Thank you for opening this opportunity to me. Thank you for saying, hey, I do an okay job. You know, because what we are doing really changing the world. You guys are the superheroes that are here to save everybody. Thank you for counting me amongst your ranks. I appreciate it.
All right, representing the Robla School District as the 2026 Teacher of the Year, Irma Zaveda White. She says, I teach because I believe that every child has a gift to offer the world, and it's our job as educators to help them discover it. Irma teaches transitional kindergarten and kindergarten at Main Avenue Elementary, and she'll be introduced by Jasmine Munoz. You ready?
Hi, my name is Jasmine Munoz, and I've been in Miss Aveda's class for 2 years, TK and kindergarten. I'm in 5th grade now. Things I really like about her is she is really kind and sweet and nice and very pretty. I think I like she did in her class was read to us with her little stick and her stand. And that reading that she did helped a lot with my reading. She helped with all my problems that I have sometimes, and she is the light to my dark path. She deserves being Teacher of the Year, and congratulations, Miss Veda.
Nice job. That was beautiful.
That's it?
You can stay right there. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I teach transition, oh my gosh, sorry, I have to collect myself. My first year at Main Avenue, probably 2 weeks into school, 3 weeks into school, my first year in kindergarten, or in elementary, my principal, Ms. Newhouse, came to me and said, so, by the way, you're gonna become a TK Kinder combo. And I was like, oh, really, I am, cool. I guess I will do this on year 1. But honestly, like, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. I get to have Jasmine as my first year class at Main Avenue, and then I got to have her through the pandemic teaching on Zoom. So I'm very grateful. So thank you, Jasmine. Thank you so much. I will keep my speech very short because I'm already kind of shaky. I'm not much for speeches. I can play and just teach all day to my little 5-year-olds, but being in front of all of you guys is very intimidating for me. But I do want to start off by saying that I want to thank my family for always supporting me, for always helping me out, for always being there. I want to thank the Robla District for taking me in as a fresh 18-year-old and just really helping me grow. I started off working as an after-school program there, fell in love with the district. From there, I moved in as a bilingual community outreach assistant, and then from there, preschool teacher, and then now in my current position at Main Avenue currently as a kindergarten teacher. Let's keep our fingers crossed it stays as kindergarten. Last year, it was another little swoop in February saying, hey, you're going to become TK Kinder Combo again, so let's just hope we stay. But yeah, they really helped me grow. They have really, really supported me, always been there for me, always encouraged me, and always believe in me, even when I don't believe in myself. So yeah, I want to thank the Roblet District. And now to my speech. I knew from a young age that I wanted to become a teacher. Growing up, I was fortunate to have educators who inspire me with their passion, kindness, and dedication. Their belief in my potential shaped a deep desire within me to give back by supporting and encouraging young leaders. Teaching for me is not just a profession, it is a calling rooted in my commitment to making a positive difference in the lives of children. I look forward to continuing my growth as a leader and educator and making a lasting impact on the lives of all the students and parents and community that I get to work with. And so to close off, I would like to say, to teach is to plant a seed in soil you may never see bloom, but plant them anyway, because the world we dream of starts with the lessons we teach today, in patience, in courage, and love. Thank you. Let's keep on growing together.
The Sacramento City Unified School District has 2 Teachers of the Year for 2026. The first is Anda Robinson. She says, no matter the starting point, my goal is the same, to empower students to find confidence in their ideas, joy in their growth, and pride in their progress. Anda teaches English at Miwok Middle School and will be introduced by Soledad Scroggins. Soledad?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Soledad Scroggins, and I attend Rio Americano High School. It is my honor to stand here before you today and say a few words about my all-time favorite teacher, Miss Robinson. Now, I should probably warn you, English wasn't always my favorite subject. In fact, before Miss Robinson, it was just the class where I learned the rule, I before E except after C, except when it doesn't, and then no one can really explain why. Which is weird, right? Weird. If you didn't get that joke, please... If you didn't get that joke, please see Miss Robinson after for an English lesson. Now, Miss Robinson was my 8th grade English teacher at Miwok Middle School. And very quickly, I learned she had the remarkable ability to make class not only educational, but also engaging and inspiring. What stood out the most was her ability to make learning feel effortless. Even on days when we were tackling challenging material, she brought an energy and creativity to the room that made class something to look forward to, not just something to get through. She didn't just lecture, she involved us. Whether it were group discussions or creative writing prompts or activities that got us moving and thinking in new ways, she made sure we were active participants in our own learning. She found ways to connect lessons to real-life experiences, which made the material not only easier to understand, but also more meaningful and personal. She turned what could have been into a chore into something exciting that was genuinely fun, memorable, and exciting. Miss Robinson was also one of the most understanding and flexible teachers I've ever had. I remember a time where I was away on a week-long trip, and while I was gone, an essay had been assigned. And I ended up having to complete it in just a couple of days. Instead of just simply grading it without context, she took the time to check in with me. We had a private conversation, and she understood just how hectic things had been. That moment showed me truly how much she cared about her students, not only as learners, but also as individuals. And now I know my experience with Miss Robinson was not unique to just me. She has significantly impacted other students' lives as well. She didn't just hand back essays with grades, she pointed out exactly where we could grow and how to make our work stronger. She was always right there with encouragement and honest feedback when we needed it most. Miss Robinson wholeheartedly believed in every single one of her students and made an effort to show it daily. I personally leave her class not only as a stronger writer, but as someone who genuinely loves English. There is truly nobody more deserving of this recognition. It is my privilege to introduce Anda Robinson to the Sacramento City Unified School District. Thank you.
Oh, I told Sol that I was going to be lucky to get through this without crying after she spoke, and that is going to hold true. I want to give a shout out to her because since entering high school, she has joined leadership. She's on the varsity flag football team. She's taking honor roll and AP classes. And back in November, she and a group of her friends went canvassing in Nevada during the election. I know, right? Just so proud of her. Thank you for those kind words. Again, my name is Onda Robinson, and I am so humbled to be here tonight representing Sacramento City Unified. When I received the honor of being named Teacher of the Year, my admin, Kristen Tahara, sent me a text message asking me if I was available to chat in her office. My brain immediately went to the worst case scenario, because anytime you get a "can we talk" text, it's never good. Except in this case. When I walked into the office, I was greeted by a group of smiling individuals, all shouting their congratulations. And in the midst of being so overwhelmed and absolutely touched by all of that, I spotted one of my students who was there, and she had tears in her eyes. And when I walked over to greet her and let her know just how much I appreciated that she was there in this moment, she looked at me in the eyes and she said, "I'm so proud of you." I know. And her words impacted me so profoundly, because the thing is, I was so proud of her. This particular student had been with me for 2 hours out of the school day, and as the year progressed, I got to watch her push through challenges and open herself up to growth and come out on the other side. She became someone who inspired me. And so we as educators, we pour our hearts and our souls into making sure that our students feel seen and celebrated and encouraged and loved. She reminded me that when we teach and when we work so hard to build those relationships with our kids, we create community, a place where we show up for each other and we cheer each other on. Good teaching, as we all know, is the sum of many people coming together to do this work. I'm honored to receive this award, but it is not just me up here. I represent countless others who are equally as deserving. My mentor teachers back in the day, Teresa Wiles and Stephanie Flaming, who pushed me in my early years and continue to inspire me today. My incredible colleagues over the years, Corey Graham, AJ Fajardo, Marissa Noguchi, Paula Turner, so many more who work tirelessly and selflessly for their students. My amazing admin team, especially Kristen Tahara, who's here today, who believes in her staff's expertise and her students' potential and supports us every step of the way. Thank you all for helping me grow into the teacher that I am today, for laughing and crying with me, and sharing the sweet, hard, vulnerable, and sometimes very embarrassing moments that make teaching such a daily adventure. I'm grateful for the time that we've got to walk through it together. To my husband, you are my rock and my biggest cheerleader. Thank you for listening to all of my teacher stories, sometimes more than once and often when you're trying to go to sleep. Sorry. And for coming alongside me on this crazy journey. You are my anchor and the steady strength behind the scenes, and I wouldn't be here without you. And most importantly, I'm not going to get through this one, everyone. Most importantly, to my students, you are forever the reason I do what I do. Being even the smallest part of your journey is my deepest joy. You will forever have a place in room 119. Again, it's truly an honor to be here tonight. Thank you, everyone.
The second 2026 Teacher of the Year for Sacramento City Unified School District is Derek Tahara. He says, "When I teach, my goal is to carefully select and approach each lesson with the mindset that this may be their only exposure to this concept in their educational career." Derek teaches 3rd grade at David Lubin Elementary, and he'll be introduced this evening by Barbara Schnetz. Barbara?
Good evening. My name is Barbara, and I have the pleasure of introducing my then 4th grade teacher, Derek Tahara. I like to say I met him in 4th grade, but I actually met him a year before, and I don't know if he knows his story. But on that day, he was on yard duty, and I was running in the jungle gym. And I remember he caught me running in the jungle gym, and he put me on timeout for the rest of recess. And I was livid. I remember sitting on the edge of that jungle gym and just praying and hoping that I wouldn't be in his 4th grade class. But yeah, here we are. So over the years, he taught me, he trained me in sports before and after school, and he encouraged me to pursue life beyond what I could imagine as a 9-year-old girl. And two decades later, I look back on that and remember one wonderful childhood of learning math, reading and writing about some of my favorite books, running and training in the sun and in the rain, breaking records as an all-girls basketball team with only one guy, and even in the mundane things like sweeping the classroom or grading papers with him and tutoring other students, and sometimes even winning cool prizes like donut holes and pencils. I'm so thankful for a teacher that invested in my academic, athletic, and personal growth, for all the hours he spent teaching and training me. It was such an honor to finish my collegiate basketball career, to get married, to kickstart my career in clinical science, and at every single life milestone, be able to look out and see that familiar face. I'm able to look back on my childhood as one where, because of teachers and people like Derek, I was given a chance to be a child, one that was fun, it was lively, it was full of laughter, and if I was given the chance to do that again, I'd do it just the same. Someone once said, a good education can change anyone, but a good teacher can change everything. Tahara, you weren't just a good teacher, you were a great one. You changed the trajectory of my life and of so many more that came after me. So without further ado, my 4th grade teacher, Derek Tahara.
I didn't make it very long on that one. I actually had a different story when I remember meeting Barbara. I remember her flying through the basketball court, grabbing a rebound with one arm, and that's when I walked over. But that's a funnier story, so I'm going to go with that one. The privilege was all mine. There's just absolute admiration for Barbara. The adversity she's overcome, she'll never talk about it. She won't tell you about it. She won't complain about it, but I know about it. And it was, I love her what's next mentality. This kid never slowed down. She did have a lot of support. And, Coach Langston at West Campus, he's a varsity girls basketball coach. And then Coach Brandy. And then as well as Tim Beauregard at Fresno Pacific University. I really want to thank you guys for picking up where I left off. The stage it's just way too big for me, and it's just too small for everybody who's helped me. I've had a great career. All these people elevated my quality of life. Started with, my grandparents, my mom, dad, my stepdad, my brothers, my mother-in-law, who we call Ba, who's unable to be here today, but is a huge part of our life and our family. My wife, my 2 daughters. It's the whole funny thing about this is I'm not even the best teacher in my house. That's my wife. My wife also won Teacher of the Year from a local news station. So, it's kind of a big joke to me. Sometimes I just watch what she does and I just realize I'm not that good. My colleagues are amazing. Administrators, especially Mr. Dixon's, absolutely top class. Absolutely top class. In this day and age, it's very rare to have an administrator that can step into a classroom right now. Right now. He could be in the middle of a parent meeting, step into the classroom right now and pick up exactly where we left off. That right there it's a very rare skill, but it just speaks to the outstanding leadership that we have in Sac City, starting from the top down with Superintendent Allen. And then we even have our SCTA president here today, Nikki Malewski. I'm very proud to be a part of Sac City. It wasn't always like that, maybe my entire career, we had some tough times, employment times, but right now, it's an amazing place to be. At one point, I was coaching 6 to 8 teams a year from school, some of the neighborhood teams, 3 to 4 for the school, and then my daughter's teams as well, softball, soccer, whatever else I made them do, basketball. And I missed dinners. My family was very patient with me. I missed dinners. I would call ahead. I would show up when food came out. I'd smell terrible. Sometimes if we had a great game, it was a great conversation. If not, that steak was I was taking it out on the steak. to be Sac City's Teacher of the Year was never a goal. I feel like, when you teach, you got to look at things with a microscope as well as a telescope. And right now in my classroom, I try to really be teacher of the moment. And I think when you really pile those moments up, you build an experience for kids that is memorable and it's lasting. I form great rapport with my families and students, and I really cherish them. And our real goal is to just be better tomorrow than you were today, no matter what you accomplish today. You can always be better. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or you are lacking as a person. It just means, push yourself for greatness. And as a teacher, when we teach that, because this is not just a title, it's a badge of responsibility. When you do this, academic growth just follows, emotional growth follows. And, like I think a lot of people here, I almost left the teaching profession in year 2. I was gonna be a firefighter. And I remember I went home and I sat down and I thought, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die because there's not a single person I think I can't save. I'm going in that building. And what I did was I decided to take that mentality and just really apply it into teaching. And I think it's one of the best decisions, I ever made. Just to be around students like Barbara and these families, it's really a gift. I love my job. I absolutely love my job. It's a remarkable way to make a living, and then you leave a legacy, and you can positively impact all these lives. It's an honor to be in this room with all these great educators and all these strong pillars in education. And good luck to everybody, and thank you for letting me be in here.
Representing the Sacramento County Office of Education as 2026 Teacher of the Year is Jessie Storrs. She says, "In the end, my philosophy is about meeting students where they are, creating spaces where they can be fully themselves, and walking beside them as they become who they are meant to be." Come on up. Jessie's a library media teacher at El Centro Junior Senior High School in the Sacramento County Youth Detention Facility. She'll be introduced this evening by Julie Wild. Julie?
Hello, my name is Julie Wild, and I'm honored to speak about my colleague and friend, Jessie Storrs, or as her students call her, Mrs. Stories. Mrs. Stories became El Centro Junior Senior High School's first teacher librarian in 2021, and since then she has completely transformed our library into a safe and welcoming haven for all students. El Centro is housed within a youth detention facility. The justice-impacted youth that Mrs. Stories serves are going through the worst weeks, months, and years of their lives. These students are feeling lost, depressed, forgotten, and I have personally seen how Ms. Stories has helped them to feel hopeful, excited, and motivated. She engages students with activities like board game club, poetry contests, escape rooms, virtual reality, and even solving immersive mysteries together as a class. Working in a youth detention facility is not easy. There are so many restrictions that limit the activities we can do as students, but Ms. Stories does not let this deter her. She makes it work. She supports, innovates, and creates. She nurtures a love for reading, critical thinking, and learning. She figures out how to give students a sense of normalcy in a situation that is not normal at all. She guides students in picking out the perfect book and opening it to read for possibly the first time in their lives, but one thing's for sure, this will definitely not be the last book that they will open. I am now proud to present the Sacramento County Office of Education's Teacher of the Year, Jessie Storrs.
I wrote a speech, but I'm feeling kind of weird. So I was a weird kid. I was a really weird kid. I'm the kind of person who, when I was told to do a book report on the Invisible Man, I did it and it was invisible. When I was told I needed to do my state report, I chose Hawaii, and I decided to talk about annexation and colonialism, and my teacher did not like me. I remember that teacher very well. I remember a couple teachers really well. I was emo, I put my headphones in, I was super neurodivergent. I still am, that doesn't really go away. And it was really hard to get along. And I think I didn't want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a paleontologist, as one does. And it wasn't until I was in college that I just decided to shift my whole career. And I did school after school after school until I finally found the school that fit. And that school was El Centro at the YDF. So here I am. And I know who is not here, and who is not here are my students. And what I would like to do before I thank the people who are here is I would like to talk about them a little bit. My students are winning Scrabble right now. They're playing against the staff, and they're winning. And I'm really proud of them. And they're winning with more than just 3-letter words. Thank you very much. My students' favorite books right now are the Darkest Mind series and the I Am Number 4 series, and they can't get enough of them, and it's really hard for me to get more copies because they want them every day. My students help me in the library, and they know exactly where to go and where to put the books. I have a student who likes to come in and put the fluffy blanket around his shoulders and walk right over to the sci-fi section and browse sci-fi for 10 minutes, his allotted 10 minutes in the library. My students are constantly beating me at all of the games that I teach them, and it's really frustrating because I thought I was good at those games. I had another one, sorry to delay. My students have drum practice in the middle of the day while I'm trying to work, and they also like to come to me in the middle of drum practice when they should be doing drum practice and ask me for more books. I have students reading through Brandon Sanderson and Robert Jordan, and I have a student who just finished War and Peace. I like to look at each thing that my students are doing and what they like, and I like to make more of it. That's what I like to do. Everybody at that table, I actually didn't know who was coming. Everybody at that table is the reason why I'm successful in the position that I'm in, and here also. Ms. Maudlin, incredible mentor and leader as a principal, could not have asked for more. Julie, you're a best friend, and I love you. I can't believe how much work, or how much that Jackie and Nancy have allowed me to do, even sending me to ALA so that I could learn more about YDF libraries. And then our chiefs letting me have a space that I could keep making a nice, very safe space for our kids. And it's their space, and they're lending it to me, and it's really, I love it. I guess, so my dreams of being a paleontologist didn't work out so well. But Mr. Rogers is one of my people, one of my idols, and he said, look for the helpers. You'll always find people who are helping. I want to teach this to the kids. I want my kids to be the helpers. And when our youth exits the facility, I hope that they will be the helpers. Thank you.
All right, representing the San Juan Unified School District as the 2026 Teacher of the Year is Haley Zerb. She says, every instructional decision reflects my core beliefs that students learn best when they see relevance in their lives, when they have a voice and a choice in their learning, when they collaborate as a community of learners, and when they engage with authentic historical materials. Haley teaches U.S. history at Will Rogers Middle School, and this evening she'll be introduced by Chris Foster. Chris?
Hi. So unfortunately, I am not a student of Ms. Zer. I'm actually a colleague. The student who was going to present couldn't be here today, so I was asked to step in. But I do have some things to say, for sure. Thanks for your patience. So my name is Chris Foster, and I have the honor of introducing the person who helped make the last 2 years of middle school survivable for me. She's not just my teaching partner, but she's become one of the best teachers, one of the best mentors, and one of the best friends anyone could ask for. I'm only here because, like I said, the student who was originally going to be here today couldn't be here. Good news, I have the speech she wrote. Bad news, unlike Michaela, I did not have the dramatic training, so you're going to have an untrained orator reading it. I'll do my best. All right. Today I would like to share about a very important role model in my life, Mrs. Zer. Mrs. Zer is a kind, funny teacher of mine that I had in middle school. Everyone wants someone who makes them feel special and appreciates them. And to me, that someone is her. I remember that she was always someone I could talk to, and she would always listen without judging. There was a time when a friend of mine was saying concerning stuff about their health, and I instantly told Mrs. Zer. She helped the situation and made sure that the student got the help they needed right away. Mrs. Zer will always have a special spot in my heart. I am thankful I was lucky enough to have her as a teacher during my middle school years. Junior high can be stressful and sometimes hard, but it was nice having a teacher who was there for me. History and English have always been my favorite classes, and with Mrs. Zer's teaching, it has always been fun and exciting. I've learned a lot from her. Not only history or school-related topics, but also life lessons and how to advocate for myself. Mrs. Zer has been running the drama class and the drama club at Will Rogers for years. She has always put in the time and effort to help all students do their best, either on stage or not. I know she always goes above and beyond and puts in many hours in the theater. One of my favorite parts was when we painted the murals in our stage. Mrs. Zer is so creative, and we learned a lot from her while making it together. There is no one on earth like Mrs. Zer, and I can't tell you enough how happy I am and proud I am to have been part of her class. She is definitely one of a kind. Thank you, Michaela Stewart. So now I am proud to present my colleague, my partner, my fellow nerd, and my teaching friend, San Juan's Teacher of the Year, Haley Zer.
So this is a little bit different for me because I'm used to just standing up in front of adults and giving a very quick extemporaneous curtain speech, telling them about how amazing their students have been for months and months of rehearsal and how they're going to enjoy the show so much. But because I'm talking about myself tonight, I actually had to write something down. Thank you so much for this incredible honor. Standing here as San Juan Unified's Teacher of the Year for 2026 is humbling and surreal, especially for someone who quite literally fell into teaching after being a theater school dropout. But from my first experience mentoring adolescents 20 years ago, I knew I had found my calling. I never felt like I was meant for anything else. These are crucial times to be teaching history and drama to middle schoolers. In our history classrooms, we are not just studying the past, but we are exploring the foundations of our government and our democracy. As educators, we work to ensure that all of our students feel welcome, that their voices matter, and that education remains a safe place for them to grow, discover themselves, and to feel worthy of full participation in our society. In theater, we help students develop the ability to view the world with both a critical and an aesthetic eye. We work to build meaningful relationships with their peers and to find authentic voices. As my practice has evolved, I have come to see myself not as the sage on the stage, although I'm comfortable on the stage, not even as the guide on the side. I now view myself as a curator of experiences that inspire historical curiosity and creative expression. This work shapes us just as much as we hope we shape our students. Teaching requires curiosity and patience and wonder that enriches every aspect of our lives. And it reminds us that education isn't just about curriculum, it's about nurturing young people to become thoughtful, engaged citizens who know that their voices matter. I need to thank some essential people. My husband,
who pushed me to study history and unknowingly set me down the rabbit hole that I fell into. My mother, who lives with us and is an amazing support. She anchors our entire family and makes it possible for me not only to stay late hours with my students, but also to have recently gone back to further my education in U.S. history. I need to thank Chris Foster, my incredible teaching partner, who is the one who saw me as worthy of this recognition tonight. Principal Adolfson, thank you. Your support has been instrumental in helping to build our arts program and also for helping to advance professional development, which has allowed me to be a leader in our school community with my peers, and also our superintendent, and to our board members, particularly Pam Costa, who has been a family friend for decades, who knew me back when I was that theater school dropout who had no idea what I was going to do. Thank you all for this honor. Thank you for trusting educators with our most precious gifts, your children. Every day in our classrooms is a reminder that the profound responsibility and joy of our calling is helping students. Thank you.
Okay, representing the Twin Rivers Unified School District as the 2026 Teacher of the Year is Mirna Flores Perez. She says, one of the most rewarding moments of my career was when a former student returned to tell me how my class helped her feel proud of being bilingual. Mirna teaches the Dual Immersion Program at Madison Elementary School, and this evening she'll be introduced by Savannah Rodriguez. Savannah?
Thank you for all having me. Good evening. Hi, my name is Savannah. I'm going to start off by something I didn't write down because I feel like it's needed to be said. Towards my gratitude, I just want to say thank you to my mom and my dad for putting me in DLI and giving me the opportunity to learn a different language that I was just unaware of when I first, because Spanish wasn't my first language. And I also want to say thank you to all my old DLI teachers. They're all in the back over there. I just want to say thank you to all of them because they all helped me on my journey and made me learn a lot. So I'm grateful for all of them too. So I'll start now. Good evening, everyone. My name is Savannah Rodriguez, and I'm here to give a few words about a teacher who has made a lasting impact on my life. Si se puede, which means you can do it, is something Maestra Perez would always tell me, encouraging me to keep pushing forward, learn from my mistakes, and stay confident even when things feel unfamiliar. I'm Hispanic, but Spanish wasn't my first language. It was always a struggle for me to keep up and understand what was happening in class and around me. But when Maestra Perez became my teacher in 4th grade, that was the year I really felt like I improved thanks to her. At first, I thought it would be like every other year for me, struggling and feeling lost. But it wasn't. Whenever I didn't understand something, she was always there to take the time to help translate or explain something to me so I wouldn't feel lost anymore. Thanks to her patience and support, I gained more than just a language skill. I gained confidence and a sense of belonging. Maestra Perez doesn't just help students around Madison. She also took the time to support our other teachers. I will always remember teachers coming into our classroom and asking for her help, and she was always willing to. She also helped organize a bunch of events around school year. For example, our carnival fundraiser, taco sale for our folklorico team, Dia de los Niños, and the end of year celebrations we have for our 6th graders. Regardless if she was your teacher or not, she was always willing to help. When I was no longer in her class, she always made it clear to me that I can count on her. It's not just her knowledge of Spanish that makes her stand out, but the way she truly sees us as her students. For those of us that might have been struggling, Maestra Perez was always there with open arms and listening ears. She went beyond teaching a language. She offered extra support and taught us how to face our challenges and reminded us not to get frustrated with ourselves for not knowing something yet. Finalmente, quiero decir que mereces ganar este premio porque eres una persona que me ha enseñado a creer en mí mismo y no rendirme. Gracias a todos por escuchar. Thank you all for listening.
This is hard. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes, buenas noches. I want to begin by saying how truly honored I feel to be nominated for this recognition. I want to thank, first, my parents, my siblings, my husband, my kids, my friends back there. my students and their families for believing in me and allowing me to do the work that I do with my heart every day. As I stand here as a child of immigrant parents and migrant farm workers, I can't help but think back to my own experiences as a student. Growing up, school wasn't always easy for me, since I was the very first person in my family to learn English. There were many moments when I felt unsure of myself. I wanted to be invisible because I wasn't certain of my voice or that it even mattered. But I also had teachers, like my second grade teacher, Mr. Ortiz, who would play songs, Spanish songs, like Cielito Lindo de Colores, songs that were in Spanish, like my parents spoke at home, or like Miss Mendez, my high school teacher, my history high school teacher, who believed in me and helped me believe in myself. These teachers reminded me that bilingualism and my culture were my strengths, not my obstacles. They gave me the confidence to take risks, to push through challenges, and to see myself as capable of achieving more. Those experiences shaped the teacher I am today. I see young Mirna in them, and I see my parents in theirs. My parents only had a sixth grade education, but instilled in me hard work and perseverance. As you see, my journey as a professional did not start. It started with my grandfather, who was part of the Bracero program, and who was denied residency in this country because he was illiterate and he couldn't sign the paperwork. He then made sure his children went to school, regardless of their hardships. My father then continued the seeds of education in all of his children. And with our family's support, all of his children have graduated from college. I can't help but see my parents' stories in the families that I work with. They have the same dreams for their children like my parents did for my siblings and I. Now in my own classroom, I strive to create the kind of space I had and at sometimes needed. A space where every child feels seen, valued, and celebrated for who they are. Teaching in a dual language immersion program allows me to do just that, to honor my students' languages, cultures, while giving them the tools to succeed academically. I want each of my students to know that their voices matter, that their ideas matter, and that they belong. This nomination is not just about me. It's about the incredible students I work with every day and the dedicated colleagues that I am privileged to work with alongside. Together, we share the same belief that all students can succeed, and that by building strong relationships, by setting high expectations, and by nurturing their unique strengths, we can help them achieve more than they can imagine. I'm going to share a quick little story. So about 2 weeks ago, as I was getting prepared mentally to come back to work, my daughter, who is in fourth grade, is in my class, asked me for pictures, my pictures of when I was her age. So I was looking back at an album that I had, and I found my certificate of when I was reclassified or redesignated as a no longer English language learner in 1986, I think, or 89. And it was like nice, crispy. And I couldn't believe it, because as hard as it was to leave the summer behind, I found my why. It was like, this is why. This is why I have to get ready, I have to prepare, and I have to start again with all my heart. So tonight, I accept this honor with deep gratitude and humility, and I dedicate it to my students, past, present, and future, because they are the reason I am here, and they are the reason I continue to grow as a student, as a teacher. Thank you.
Oh, some incredible speeches by some incredible people, not just the teachers, but their students and their introducers. It is a treat to see. So let's show our appreciation for the inspiring teachers who make a difference every day. Nice job. Next, I would like to invite the trustee, Heather Davis, to the podium for a few words about the Eleanor Lincoln Hickey Award of Merit. Now, this is a special award that will be presented to our 2 winning Sacramento County 2026 Teachers of the Year. Joining Heather, come on up, is Heather on stage, our trustees, Dr. Alfred Brown Sr., Vanessa Kaigoy, Youth County Board member Nairobi Dunbar, and Superintendent David Gordon. Come on up.
Thank you, Richard. We're so happy to have you with us again. I'm Heather Davis, as he said, and I'm really proud and excited to get to stand up here on behalf of the Sacramento County Office of Education. I don't know about you guys, probably not, because you already do the cool job, but as I sat there and I listened, I thought, I don't need to do the job that I do all the time. I should be a teacher. This is it. And then I sat there and and I was like, well, librarian or 3rd grade, because that sounds great. And then I started thinking, what do they do? It's cursive? Okay, let's bring it back. So this is where my mind was going, and my husband's sitting in the audience, and he's gonna probably tell me when I come off the stage that probably not. But we have a son, and he is a junior in college, and don't you know that you guys have inspired me, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm going to see if I can rally. According to this paper, I have been doing this as a trustee for the last 9 years, and I think I've attended every event. And I just want to thank you all for just continuing to show up. It means so much to myself and all of my colleagues as well. So with that, I'm going to tell you about why we're here as far as this special award. Mrs. Eleanor Lincoln Hickey, whose name is on this award, was a force in education. She taught thousands in public speaking, debate, journalism, and English. And in 1978 was named both Sacramento City and Sacramento County Teacher of the Year. Retirement didn't slow her down. She served on the Sacramento City School Board and our County Board of Education, and twice as president. In 2005, a SCOE school was named in her honor. After her passing in 2008, this award was created to celebrate her lifelong commitment to teaching and to teachers, students, and families. To all of you who are here tonight, and especially the 2 who will soon be named as our 2026 Teacher of the Year, you are carrying forward her remarkable legacy. This is the highest honor the County Board of Education can give. It represents our deepest respect and gratitude for the difference that you all make every single day. At this time, I would like to invite Joshua Weeks and Mark Van Kuren back to the podium to open the top secret envelopes and read the announcements.
Our first 2026 Teacher of the Year invests a great deal of time in connecting and getting to know many details about their students to engage them with the mention of a pet, activity, sport, or food. The result is a classroom full of real learners who are motivated, engaged, and eager to participate. This teacher has built a safe, nurturing environment where students don't just grow academically, they flourish emotionally and socially as well. With more than 2 years of experience, this educator is a visible leading learner, modeling a growth mindset, continuous reflection, honest feedback, and meaningful collaboration. And now it's time to celebrate. Please join me in congratulating a 3rd grade teacher from Elk Grove Elementary School in the Elk Grove Unified School District, Bethany Hancock.
Is this actually happening? I'm not even sure. All I can say is my student introducer predicted this because she said she wanted the award. It looked like an eagle, and our school mascot is an eagle. And I was like, no, Tessa, we've gotten enough already. I'm very, very satisfied. I've had more than enough. Tess, I don't even know what to say. I think I can't speak, but thank you so much. I'm very honored. And also for Tessa, I have to say one of my deepest joys in teaching is making kids better humans, more so than the academics. Sorry, Superintendent Hoffman, but that is important too. But I really want them to be great people and to have kindness and to read more than math facts. Des and I had this debate. Her new teacher said math facts are more important than reading. I said, oh no, girl, reading is number one. But she told me she read every day this summer, and we're just right there. That's like, wow. And she authored books last year. She was inspired, and I always want my kids to inspire each other to be better people. And I have no more words. I'm just honored. I don't really feel like this is true. Amazing. Thank you.
Okay, now is my time. All right. Our second 2026 Teacher of the Year was inspired to make a difference in the classroom and the community by their parents' example of dedication, perseverance, courage, and most of all, legacy. With a gift for connecting instructional content to students' own experiences, this teacher makes learning deeply relevant and meaningful. This remarkable educator and respected soccer coach has changed the trajectory of countless student lives, opening doors to brighter futures, and now it's time to celebrate. It turns out our second honoree is also a third grade teacher from David Lubin Elementary School in the Sacramento City Unified School District. Please join me in congratulating Derek Tahara.
And what an honor. I did leave one part out of my speech. This tie I actually wore the very first day of teaching, 25 years ago. And I was so proud to put it on, I think 2 weeks ago when I was going to another event, and I looked at my oldest daughter and I said, Tiana, I wore this the very first day of teaching 25 years ago. And she said, yeah, it looks like you've had it for 25 years. We need to get you a new tie. So, I don't know how many more years I have left. In my head, I'm thinking 25, but there's no way. I have to be realistic. But again, I really feel like I could do this forever. They've seriously flown by. Thank you to Teacher of the Year panels and SCOE and Sacramento City Unified School District. I don't know how you guys go through this process, leaving your classrooms and the discussions that you must take. I do coach competitive soccer for East Sacramento Soccer Club, and I can't even figure out who my starting 7 players are because, I have so much confidence in them and they're so talented. So I can't imagine how hard this process must have been for you guys. But thank you very much. This night has just energized me, this whole process, and I feel like I just started, and we're going to keep this going. Thank you very much.
Our 2 Sacramento County Teachers of the Year will be honored by the Scottish Rite Bodies of Freemasonry at a recognition event next spring. Scottish Rite also has a tradition of bestowing the perpetual trophy on each teacher. At this time, I would like to invite Sean Monsuleri from the Sacramento Scottish Rite to come forward and present the trophies. Sean? Incredible night, incredible teachers, incredible introducers. Thank you so much. This has been a very exciting evening, and I'm truly honored to have shared it with you all. The 2 teachers' applications have already been forwarded to the California Department of Education for consideration as the 2026 California Teacher of the Year. Let's hope they get it. Be sure to tune in to Fox 40 Monday morning, bright and early. It's 7:15. We're going to have the newly crowned teachers on the air. That means you guys have to get up a little bit early, though. Not as early as I do, not one, but just, I'll come around and bug you. Thank you so much. And now, if you'll turn your attention to the screens, please enjoy a special tribute to all the teachers we have honored this evening as we showcase how they're making a difference in the lives of these students. Please help us recognize the teachers you've heard tonight. When you see your teacher on screen, big round of applause, if you can. Let's go ahead and watch.
We light the spark that sets them free, the world of wonder they can see. Through every step and every fall, we're here to help them stand up tall. It's not just books or tests they face, it's hearts and minds we help embrace. With open arms and gentle care, we guide them through the world out there. Why we teach, it's more than words. It's the songs of dreams they never heard. Building bridges, breaking walls. We're the catch when they might fall. We see the stars within their eyes, the way they shine, the way they rise. Every voice deserves a stage. Every story turns the page. We're the roots that hold them strong, the hands that help them find their song. Through the storms and through the skies, we watch them soar, we watch them fly. Why we teach, it's more than words. It's the songs of dreams they never heard. Building bridges, breaking walls. We're the catch when they might fall. More than words, it's the songs of dreams they never heard. Building bridges, breaking walls. We're the catch when they might fall. We see the sparks or tests they face. It's hearts and minds we help embrace. With open arms and gentle care, we guide them through the world out there. Why we teach, it's more than words. It's the songs of dreams they never heard. Building bridges, breaking walls. We're the catch when they might fall. We see the stars within their eyes, the way they shine, the way they rise. Every voice deserves a stage. Every story turns the page. We're the roots that hold them strong, the hands that help them find their song. Through the storms and through the skies, we watch them soar. Where we teach, it's more